Foundation.
You gotta come under. So if you was a white person who hate black people, well, brother, enjoy the fire. That's all I can say to you. Because his oracles are the chosen people. That's why he called me and said, there and go. Them white people can't baptize nobody, they can't immerse nobody. That's why I don't want to go too deep here, but that's why when you had Cornelius had to send for Peter. Peter was a black man.
Yes.
So Rahab hit them, and you know they tell Rahab, they said, look here, we coming to destroy. I said, but what you could do, all of your family members who you want to save, bring them into your house. Bring them into your house and they can be saved. So they left. Now watch what they leave Rahab with a job. Rahab had to now go to these family members of hers and say to them, look here, I want y'all to come in my house.
Yes.
You see, because if y'all don't come in my house,
Come in my house.
y'all gonna be lost.
Come in my house.
Because of the distinction, they said, they must be under your roof.
Yes.
So now if she had went to her family and they say to her, man, those who rejected were lost. But she was able to get some of them together. She brought all who she got to bring and they were saved. See, that's just like Israel. You got Israel and you got the heathen.
Yes.
If the heathen come to me as Israel, the servant of the Most High, and say to me, I accept this message, I want to be a Moissanite. And he's a white man, a red man. You know, we call them white, but they red. And he accept the message, and I immerse it. He now become engrafted in Israel, and he is no longer he. You know what he is? He is Israel.
Yes.
But you know what he is literally called? He is a Hebrew Israelite.
Yes.
See, a Hebrew Israelite could be anybody once you come in. But Israel itself is a specific set of people. That's the slaves. That's the Negroes. Me, I is Israel. But I had to come back to the covenant.
Yes.
Now I spiritual Israel.
Yes.
When we bring in a person into the message who was a heathen, they now become a Hebrew Israelite.
Yes.
See, anybody could become a Hebrew. You engrafted now. But there's a specific set of people who was Israel.
Yes.
That's the slaves. But the problem is, we have sinned, and the Father is saying, you need to come back under the covenant.
Come to the covenant.
Because if you don't come under this covenant, he's going to destroy all of you.
Keep my laws.
That's why he say to Moses, tell them put blood over their doorposts. You go to these people today now and tell them they got to do something now, put blood over their house. They look at you like you crazy. They got this $1 million house, but they ain't concerned about their soul. But we got to come back to the truth. We got to come back to the truth.
Come to the truth.
So let's go to Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10.
Wake up, Israel.
Brothers, you don't need nothing else but the scripture. Don't mind them demons out there. All you need is the scripture. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10. Listen to this. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said Yahweh. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them an Elohim, and they shall be to me a people.
Yes.
A Pacific people. He
Yes.
ain't coming for no church, he coming for Israel.
Israel.
If you don't understand that you is Israel and come back under that, you stay walking around there, but you is Christian, you just go to Baptist, you just go to Adventist, you just go to Jehovah, you're going to be lost. Especially if you don't listen to what his servants say. See, right now you're ignorant.
Yes.
But when I done talk to you, your ignorance gone.
Yes.
You don't got no more ignorance. Let's go to Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 11, brothers and sisters.
Bring it out.
Wait with me.
Bring it out, brother.
Romans chapter 11. We got to trust in the Mashiach. Ain't nobody else could save you. Some of you ain't in love with the pastor.
Only the Messiah.
Then the pastor them start running. I can see where y'all gonna run. Romans chapter 11 verse 11. Say then, had Elohim cast away his people? See, a lot of people is telling you in these whole hosts, they say, oh, Israel is spiritual, Israel. You know what? To say that is demonic. Let me tell you something. Abraham, that seed from Yitzhak to Jacob, he have seeds here. Isaac seed of Abraham.
Yes.
Let me tell you right now. Okay, you know why you got to watch out for these people? You live in, your daddy dead. But because you live, your daddy live.
Yes.
He living in you.
Yes.
And his daddy before him. And that keep going back, keep going back, keep going back.
Yes.
The mere fact you living, you carrying on a line of seed.
Yes.
So don't let them tell you, but Israel has been cast away. That's foolishness. Foolishness, you hear me?
Yes.
Romans chapter 11, and he said, Elohim had not cast his people which he foreknew. Would he not, what the scriptures said of Elias? No, he maketh intercession to Elohim against Israel, saying, Yahweh, they have killed thy prophets and take down thine altars. and am left alone, and that they seek my life. But what saith the answer of Elohim unto him? I have reserved unto myself 7,000 men who have not bowed to the image of Baal.
That's right.
Baal had an image.
Yes.
You know what your image is right now? That same white Christ.
Mercy.
Blasphemous.
Mm.
White Christ with white hair. And you know who the picture, you know, every time the whole host do a picture, they have to get somebody to pose for it. You know who they use for that one? The Pope's son.
The most degenerate.
The most degenerate. Now, he was a homosexual.
Mm.
Oh, y'all don't understand. Even so, then, at this present time, also there's a remnant according to the election of grace.
Yes.
He said, so now you calling him a liar? Say, trying to figure people, it's either, the Father said, you be a liar, let me be true.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. All of T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Miles Monroe, Neil Ellis, all these Israelites, they've been deceived. And when they come into this truth, if they don't turn around and come the next way and listen to their servants, they can be lost, because all them gone off to these Oral Roberts and these Hal Lindsey to learn, to come back to teach Israel. But the Father say, I just teach my own people and send them. You see?
Bring
if
it
you
out.
look at them, they worship these white people. But you know, I love them, you know. I love my brothers, but I'm trying to tell them, you all better wake up, because you all have the opportunity to turn a mass of people from sin.
Hey,
you know what it is?
sure,
If one of y'all accept the truth and y'all can say to your congregation, we've been going wrong.
Yes.
But because y'all full of pride, wickedness, and deceitfulness,
Wickedness.
the Father say they cross land and sea to make one proselyte.
Mm.
And when they make him 2 times the child of heaven.
Mm.
That's what they do. All about it.
Oshami andai.
And if by grace, then is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be works, then is no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blind.
Mm.
Watch this now. There's a certain amount of people on this side of Israel who can accept it. But the rest of y'all have been blinded because y'all themselves.
So look.
All the pastors got to do is buy a cow or some food for some of their members, and they don't never want to hear no more truth. If the pastor say, look here, man, take your clothes off. Jesus tell me sleep with you tonight. They take their clothes off and open up their bag.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you something, there's nothing but filthiness in there. That's why they're fighting for these other. You counseling a child, 15 years old, and you're supposed to be a leader. And you take your clothes off and sleep with that child, and then you got your leaders above you trying to back you up. What type of no good stinking filth y'all is? The Father say they're nothing but wickedness. A rebellious nation.
Mm.
You better hear me. Exodus chapter 19, verse 1 to 6. Let's go there.
Bring it out.
Exodus chapter 19, 1 to 6. It said, in the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Egypt. See, this is a Pacific people.
Yes.
He ain't talking about the Hittites, the Jebusites.
It's Israel.
Listen to me now, he talking about Israel.
Yes.
You ever, from I was talking, have y'all heard me mention the church, and I ain't changed nothing in the word. Israel.
The Father's chosen.
Y'all better watch out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He coming for Israel. It said, the same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai, for they were departed from Rephidim and were come into the desert of Sinai, and had pitched the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto Elohim, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mount, saying, thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, tell the children of Israel, you have seen what I did unto the Egyptians.
Yes.
And how I bare you on eagle's wing and brought you unto myself.
Yes.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
Above.
You hear that?
Above.
He said Israel will be above all people.
All.
We were once above all people.
All.
What happened, what make us the tail is we break the covenant.
Yes.
Brothers, let's take the time, open your Bible, read Deuteronomy 28, 1 to 68.
Mm-hmm.
See what, and read it knowing that you're the Israelite. And he said, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy. You see, Israel already have a mission. You know?
Yes.
You don't hear what he said? He said, y'all gonna be unto me
Kingdom
a kingdom
of priests.
of priests.
Yes.
That's how you might be doing your carpentry and your mason, but when you come into the truth of who you is,
Yes.
what the Father is saying, I already ordained you for something, you know.
Yes.
You're a priest.
Yes.
I need you to go out there to talk, because all of them out there lost. All them Oral Roberts and them white, they lost. These people hate Israel,
Yes.
but they don't understand the very people they hate are those that were chosen by the Most High to be his inheritance.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Bring you the truth.
He say, an unholy nation, these are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
The nations are like the women.
That's right. Amos chapter 2. Let's go to Amos chapter 2. Let's look and find that.
They don't want what the Father has chosen.
Amos chapter 2, my brothers and sisters. We must stand on the word. On the word alone. For there's none else. Amos chapter 2, verses 9 to 12. Listen to this. Yet destroyed I the Amorites before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit from above and his roots from beneath. Also I brought you up from the land of Egypt. See, keep going back to Egypt.
Oh my goodness.
He's trying to make a distinction of who he's dealing with.
Connection.
Ye called 12 son is a black face with woolly hair. We were the slaves. That's who we is. Oh boy. Yet I destroyed the fruit from above and his roots from beneath. Also I brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite. Only black people could have gone through the wilderness for 40 years. You think red people would have made it? All of them would have burned up and roast right out there. You will notice we have a different texture skin.
Yes.
You'll notice when the red people, let me say red, when they go on the beach, they got to rub down in cream 24/7. How they would have make it? They live with them suntan lotion.
Yes.
And I raised up your sons for prophets and of your young men for Nazarites. Let's catch this now.
Only Israel.
He said, raise up. Now see, for some of y'all have said, he said, well, who was a Nazarite? Who was a Nazarene? Samson. How much locks Samson had?
7.
7 locks. Only black people have locks. Will you hear? See, it bringing you, see, brothers and sisters, I know you have always been taught by the red people to think of yourself as an inferior race, as a race that come from monkey, has no body. But I come to bring you good news.
Yes. Good news.
The Father said, you are his child. He wants you to come back to the covenant.
Yes.
You need to be worrying how you can get out that whorehouse and be a moist in this truth. Because if you hear this and reject this, you lost. And I can tell you that right now. But he gave the Nazarite wine to drink and commanded to prophesy, saying, prophesy not. That's what they do. Amos chapter 3, verses 1 to 3. Hear this word that Yahweh had spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. See, going back there again.
Back in Egypt.
Oh, look at the distinction he making.
Connection.
Trying to help you know people.
Connection.
To tell you who he is.
Yes.
You no longer y'all got to think y'all inferior. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
But watch it now.
See, it's he said, you only have I known. He ain't into the rest of them. They heathen. You know why? You see, this white Christ and these false wooden images, it's all right for them to worship that, you know. But what he said, Israel, it is not so for you. I make the covenant with you.
So then you have all them teachers are there trying to say there's no record of Israel being in Egypt. They're trying to break that connection.
But the word got it intact. See, that's why the Father said to me, Darren, in order for a person to go there to carry my word, I got to teach them first. He had me on this teaching for 2 years.
Yes.
You see these ministers going off to Oral Roberts and these white people to learn, and all them blind. The Father sees their eyes. They don't know nothing. He sees their eyes. He said, I can teach you and send you. That's why he said, those that have wisdom, you better apply that wisdom.
Yes.
The Father wants it. Let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. Before he come and we meet him in the clouds, we can meet him in the clouds. Oh, that's another lesson I got for you.
Yes.
Before he come, we meet him in the clouds. Plagues coming on this earth like it was in Egypt. He's sending his servants now to get you prepared for it.
Yes.
So that you would not be hindered by the plagues. But
Escape.
you know y'all going to reject the truth, you know. But I can speak to y'all anyhow because he tells me to speak.
Yes. Speak, brother.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together except they agree? You hear what he say? Man, I ain't worrying about them. Think I worrying about them France and Italy and Britain and all them. I ain't worrying about them people. I worrying about Jordan. I make the covenant with Israel.
Yes.
That's who I make it with.
Israel got to keep it so they can learn how to
He
keep
said,
it.
and because we get scattered out the land, you know what he said? Salvation come to the Gentiles.
Yes.
That's why if a red man come to me now, I said, brother, I was listening to your message, I'd like to be a moist. I'd look at him strange and say, wow, who is this that listening to the voice of Israel?
Yeah.
And Israel himself would not listen. That's why the Father say, many of Israel can be cast away and the heathen coming in.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Bring it out.
Oh my goodness.